All right, guys. I should be here. Everything should be working. If not, if something's not working, like audio or whatever, let me know. Over the last spring break, I had to essentially factory reset my entire computer, which that was fun. So let me know if something's not working because I had to reinstall everything. So let me know if something's not working. Appears that my audio is working. If I'm too loud, too quiet, the whole works. Just let me know. And I think I'm good though. Okay, so the point of this stream, as the title suggests, is the Moose SMP. I'll be talking about what the Moose SMP is, the vision of the Moose SMP, essentially the whole 9 yards, anything involving the Moose SMP, how I'm going to go about creating it, when it's going to release, who can play, will things cost money, like all the stuff I will be discussing in this stream, and I will be answering questions. On top of that, we will even go into some of the planning, and you guys will help me with some of it because there's still a lot that needs to be essentially written down, so then I can share it with other crew members and other development team members. That way we can essentially all have the idea of the same idea that I have, because this is essentially about 2 to 3 years of thoughts, knowledge, and ideas all stored in my head that I'm trying to get put down on a piece of paper and figure out, like, does this actually make sense or does this need to change, stuff like that. And so that is what we're going to be doing today. Real fast though, I was going to not have my camera here, but I don't think I can do that. I really feel like I need my camera on, so let me webcam. Let me go ahead and add that to the stream. So as I'm doing this, let me know if something is not working. Nope, not integrated camera, USB device. So let me know, guys, if something is not working, everything like that. Hayes, welcome to the entire chat, everything like that. Let me know if you have any questions, or do you want me to just start, like, let me know when you're ready for whatever.
I think I'm good.
Okay, sweet. I'm going to minimize this. I don't really know where people would need to see, so I'll just put my camera here, and it should be fine. I think the light's okay. I'll take my glasses off. I don't really need them right here. I now wear glasses a lot, so yeah, it's fine. I can see most things still. The chat is a little bit interesting because I have 2 bright lights. My eyes are very light sensitive, so I may have to actually keep these on because it blocks out some of the light. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. But yes, okay, so anyway, guys, I think we're all good to go. Audio appears to be working. If I'm too loud, let me know. I think I'm a little too loud, so I'm going to turn myself down just a little bit. Otherwise than that, I think everything is working. So I'm going to also screen share on the stage thing, so Hayes, you don't have to also have the stream up at the same time.
Cool.
But you'll be able to see the same thing that everyone else is seeing. Okay. Kill my ears, Moose. Well, I tend to do that anyway. So anyway, okay. I think we're good. In the future, what I do plan on having is music. I'll be searching for music at some point for, like, the different streams and stuff. In fact, I have on Spotify, I've created 3 playlists or like, I think like 4 playlists actually, of like the different styles or genres of streams. So like gaming streams, SMP streams, podcast streams, miscellaneous streams, just stuff like that. I'm just gonna have music saved so I can just start a playlist and be able to have background music so it's not just blank. That's something I have noticed about stuff. But anyway, guys, long story short, the page you guys are looking at right now, this is the official Mr. Fisher Mooser website. It is somewhat generic at the moment because, well, it's cost effective. I don't have a lot of need for a very sophisticated website at the moment. Just really a place to house information that I can send people to instead of them having to join a Discord server. So this is what I have right now. I do plan on creating a Discord server for the Moose SMP. I already have one created. It is just not set up. Whenever I finally get it all set up, then I can invite people to it so that way you can ask questions there and stuff as well. But that is down the line. I'm getting a lot of other stuff figured out first. So some of this I'm going to read. I'm not going to read every single word. Some sections I may read every word, but for the most part I'm just going to kind of like give glimpses of stuff just so we can all be on the same page. So before I go any further, does anyone have any questions about anything before I get started? Okay, I don't think we do. If you do at any point just have any questions, let me know, and then I will pause and I will answer the questions. So just like if you're in the chat, just like raise your hand or whatever. If you're in the call, just like get my attention, and I will pause what I'm doing to either answer a question or to clarify something, because what makes sense to me may not make sense to y'all. Hence the whole point of, well, this stream and for several streams down the line. So, anywho, so the Moose SMP coming soon. Forge your own destiny, one block at a time. We were trying to think of different slogans, and that is the one we have currently. We may come up with a better one in the future, but I actually kind of like it because it kind of portrays what the Moose SMP is. Have you ever wanted to have your life be the adventure? The Moose SMP gives you the opportunity to control your own adventure. Click below to find out more. So right here is just a quick little description of the Moose SMP. This entire stream will be a long explanation of the Moose SMP, but some of these I'm just going to read just so they can kind of make sense. The Moose SMP is a server that has been on my mind for over 2 years. If you enjoy watching your favorite YouTubers play a lore-based SMP, are you aware of the problem that comes with it? The problem is that you are just watching and not actually being there playing with them. In the Moose SMP, you get to play alongside the main cast as they carry out the main storyline while simultaneously creating your own stories and adventures. Once the server has enough players, the community will be the storyline. The community gets to have creative liberty to help out the story however they choose. Be a faithful citizen, a dishonorable thief, a clever assassin, or even a rival king. Find out more by clicking here. So, the Moose SMP, think of like the Dream SMP, right? So Dream SMP was a lore-based SMP. I'm not a big survival player. I'll play it for a little bit and then I get bored really easily because I'm more of a PvP main at heart. And so it's really hard for me to enjoy long periods of time playing a survival world. Now, I've battled this by playing with mods before, playing with friends before, and it helps. It makes it last a little bit longer, but it all gets boring at some point. Everyone gets bored. You're sitting in a world. Everyone has netherite. Now what? You just like build a house or two. It gets very boring. And so the lore introduced by I don't think Dream was the original. I had the original idea for a lore-based SMP because there's gonna be several SMPs. Think of like I guess like Hermitcraft. I guess has a little bit of a lore-based thing. Not quite like a full-on storyline like the Dream SMP, but still it has like some sort of like just friend lore, if you will. But the Dream SMP was where it became famous of having like an actual story that was being played out, where there was actual cast members and scripts and everything. And so I decided to try that with a bunch of friends. One for content to be able to stream, but then also it was something I wanted to do. I grabbed a bunch of friends, and I've always wanted to get into like cinematography and movie making, and I love to like doing videos and streams, and so I thought it would be fun, and it was a blast. It was a little bit of a experience because the story was essentially being made up as I was creating the stream. So like maybe like sometimes even the day before or even the day of the stream, I would be coming up with the idea of what the next lore event would be. And somehow, some way, with a bunch of help from the whole cast being patient with me and being very creative with their own stuff, we were able to make it work. The story itself probably could have been played out a little bit better, but like I said, it was sort of just like done really fast without much planning involved. But with that considered, we all did a great job, and I'm really proud of the whole team for how we were able to do that. So just the whole fact that this is going to be more planned out is just going to be really fun. I'm going to take a moment here. The scientist says, if it gets popular, could I be an admin on the server because I'm an OG boy? Scientist, towards the finalization process, I will go through like the whole plan and steps and phases of the development of the server, and when I will be opening applications for things like staff, even cast members and everything like that. But that's for a while down the road. And as far as like release date and everything, it's going to be a while down the road because I want this to be done right and I want it to be done well. And so there's going to be a lot of work to do that. So there will be applications to apply later on, just not just yet. I am, however, thinking about creating applications here pretty soon. How soon, I don't know, but just pretty soon I'm even thinking about making an application for um, a development team, which may be something um, as simple as just researching. Like I may say, hey, I don't really know much about this and I don't have time to look into it. You go do that. So it may just be something like small things like that, but it saves me a lot of time, which then really helps the process of the server. So I may do something like that in the near future, but that's to be determined. So anyway, let's move on here because I'm sure everyone's wanting me to get a move on. Before I say anything else, any questions yet? Like Hayes, Hunter, you guys have anything?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Okay. Also, thank you, Hayes, for being here so short notice. Like I haven't, like guys, I did not request Hayes to be here at all. He just happened to show up. So thanks for being
Yeah,
here.
I got the notification on my phone and I was like, I have nothing better to do. Why not?
You know what? That's fair. And you played a big part in the creation of this. So that was so fun, guys. If you haven't went back and seen seasons 1 and 2 of the Moose SMP, go back and watch it. It was really fun. I have yet to like make like a video explaining everything. However, I am doing something that I will be talking more in depth here in a moment. But I am currently writing books. I am writing a book version of the Moose SMP. I'm calling it the Moose Chronicles. So it's going to be the story of the Moose SMP, and the format that I'm going to use is that of like a autobiography. So like for example, I will be writing the story from my perspective in character, but then I'll be going back and then adding in excerpts and different insights as a historian point of view. So it would be the format would be like this. So Moose, King Moose, was writing a diary of the events that took place, and then a historian came back later, found the diary, and then is reading it and giving more information of stuff that I, Moose, didn't know at the time. And so that is the format I'm going to be using for the books, and it's going to be done in volumes. So the series is the Moose Chronicles, Volume 1, Season 1, Volume 2, Season 2. So I'm currently writing the Volume 1. I am currently in the rough draft stage of it, so that's me still writing the story. Then I'm going to have to go back, reword some things, reformat some things, all that sort of stuff. But then I'm hoping to be able to release that as an actual book that I would be able to sell on the website. And I think that's going to be a blast. I just think it would be really cool to have that. And then once I get done with that one, I will also then be working on Volume 2. So I'm really excited for that. But that is something I'm going to be doing here pretty in the coming weeks and stuff. So, okay. The Moose SMP is a server like no other that is sure to be enjoyable for everyone. So the Moose SMP server. Have you ever wanted to play D&D in Minecraft? We all know what Dungeons and Dragons is. It's a role-playing game based on people's imaginations. It's a really cool thing. I've not played D&D itself just because I don't do too many things that has to do with like druids and witchcraft and all that stuff. However, I do play similar things to D&D or D&D without that. You know, that's the cool part about things like D&D is that's more so just the format of a game that can be taken however you want to do it because the limit is your imagination. Hence why Minecraft is also one of the most popular games is because of that. Have you ever wanted to join a MMORPG server that actually has player interaction? Most MMORPG servers and games that I've seen say MMORPG, massive multiplayer online RPG. However, you could play most MMORPGs, you could play the entire game and not see one person because it's not made to be interactive with each other. It's all housed on one server, and that's why they call it a massive multiplayer online RPG. But it's not interactive. Some of them are, but limited. Some of them you can be, but it's still limited. I want there to be actual player interaction to where you are playing the role that you're creating for yourself with somebody else that is doing the same thing for themselves, and then you guys are doing stuff either together, against each other, or anything similar like that. Or have you ever wanted to have a way to play your favorite game with your favorite people, even though you all share different play styles? I'm a PvPer. I'm trying to think of somebody. Red is more of like a mods or just plays for fun. Gunk, he plays more of just mini games and like murder mystery. Dino's a builder. We all have several different play styles. Hayes here, yes, he's a big Minecraft player, but aren't you more of a, is it Valorant? Not Valorant. Oh my goodness.
It was Valorant. I
It
played
was
Valorant for a while.
Okay. What
But
is it
like
now?
Splatoon, I would say is the main
Splatoon?
game. I'm pretty
Okay.
cracked, but
Okay.
no, Splatoon is fire. Give
I
it a
mean, I
chance.
play Fortnite, okay? We can't say anything.
I spent my first buckaroos on Fortnite the other day because they added Anakin Skywalker.
For real, okay? For real. They had the whole Attack on Titan thing come out. I was like, bruh, yes. Gimme.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Nah, I haven't been playing a lot of games though because I've had school and finals and all that.
I'm right there with you. I'm out for summer break from college, so yeah, completely understandable. But we all have different play styles, and so somebody like me, I'm playing nothing but Skywars all the time or something similar. I'll probably not really ever play with somebody like Green Dino who's mainly a builder, or Red that's over just testing out mods or something. And if we try to do something that the other person enjoys, and we can do it for a little bit of fun because of who we're doing it with, playing with the friends, fun in itself. But if you both enjoy the thing that you're doing, it just makes it that much better. And so, the Moose SMP aims to accomplish being able to incorporate every bit of the different play styles of the different game modes of not only in Minecraft, but I'm hoping to be able to incorporate some of the stuff from other games as well. Now, some of this is going to be limited, like, for example, Fortnite is a Battle Royale game. There's going to be some things in the Moose SMP that could resemble, like, a Battle Royale. Think of, like, maybe an event where it's, like, a Hunger Games event. Stuff like that can be implemented, but it's not going to be, like, the main focus of it. So you can still have fun doing that, but it's there's going to be a limitation because you can't please everyone. But I'm going to do what I can to try to be as close as I can get. And so I am going to read this thing real fast, and then I'll hit highlights of some of the other stuff, but this essentially is a quick version of an explanation of the entire Moose SMP. So I'm going to read this, ask you guys some questions and stuff like that, and then I will continue. So the Moose SMP is a server like no other. The Moose SMP is a lore-based SMP server. However, on this server, you will be able to join in on the adventures. On the Moose SMP server, your only limitation is your own imagination. As a player, you get to play alongside the main cast as they embark on the adventures that alter and create the main storyline. The main storyline is the lore of the whole server and changes the course that the server takes. This storyline changes how the entire server is played and affects everyone. The subcast will aid in the server by taking up responsibilities that are required to keep the server running. These responsibilities may include anything like being a mayor, being a king, being a head merchant, etc. The best part about the Moose SMP is that you, as the player, will be able to become any of the things mentioned above and more. That's right. You, the player, can become a member of the main cast if you play your cards right. You can either work as a pre-made occupation or create your own. You could be a wealthy merchant, a daring explorer, a cunning thief, a noble king, a deadly warrior, or anything else that you can think of. The Moose SMP allows free reign to do nearly anything that you can come up with. The idea of the Moose SMP will accomplish something that no other server has done before, and that is to recreate a real-life community inside of Minecraft. The Moose SMP attempts to create a working social RPG environment where you can forge a whole new life inside of the game. You not only get to forge your own destiny in a real community with real players, but you get to do so alongside the main cast. The main cast will consist of YouTubers, streamers, and content creators of all kinds, shapes, and sizes. You get to live with them as they continue to pursue their quests, and you will be able to either help or hinder their efforts in several different ways. Have any questions, click here to contact us. And so that is probably the most nutshell version of the Moose SMP explanation that I can think of put on the website. And so if you want to go back and reread this yourself and stuff, it's on the website, mrfishermooser.com. It's, yes, my name, not moosesmp.com, because it's Mr. Fisher Mooser. It's all wrapped around my brand and stuff, so it's all kind of the same thing. And so that is the nutshell version of the Moose SMP. Before I go any further, does anyone have any like questions, statements, thoughts, or like does anyone have anything to add to this or say at all? Excuse me. Red Haze, anything?
I
I
would
don't
have
think
questions.
so.
I would have questions, except I already know all this.
I mean, that's fair. Guys, Red here, he has been like a big help in a lot of this stuff. Even if some of the times he's just sitting here as I'm typing out a big long thing, and I'm just like I'll start to ask him a question, and then I answer the question before he does, like to myself, and yeah, so that happens. But yes, and so Hayes, you didn't have anything?
Don't think so.
Okay.
You're
Is
doing
it all making sense so far, Hayes?
you're doing a pretty good job
Yeah,
of explaining.
Okay.
that's what
Okay.
I was gonna say. Yeah.
I hope so because it took a lot of rewriting and stuff. So currently I have on the website three different documents that you can look at. One is the plan. The Moose SMP has a plan of development to make sure everything works out the best way it possibly can, and they have a PDF where you can look at that. I'll just take glances at these documents here in a minute. I'm not going to read the full thing. They are on the website that you can take a look at in your own time. Um, but this is essentially this I will probably edit here before too long. I am currently writing a script for a video that I will be creating. It's going to be a little bit of a longer video, but it will be the video version. It will be the video version of the entire Moose SMP explanation, but with a script so I don't ramble on like what I am now. This is a stream. It's okay to ramble on, but for the video, the point of this video is I can send it to potential candidates for either cast. I can send it to potential business propositions, like if I'm trying to either get gain or give a sponsorship to somebody. It's either get a sponsorship to where I can afford something or give a sponsorship to where it's advertisement. Either or, it will be a video that I could then give them to explain what it is I'm doing in my goals. That is what I'm currently writing, so it's going to be a little bit longer, but it's going to be very organized, and I will take a look at that here before too long. And so on that, I'm going to have essentially the plan of attack of how I'm going to be trying to do this. But this is more so like a nutshell version, if you will. So the version I am currently writing is a little bit more in depth, but we can get to that in a minute. Attributes, so that's what this is. Attributes, the SMP has several attributes that relate to some of the most famous game modes, including RPG, Skyblock, Prison, Faction, etc. So this PDF will include like the comparison of like how the Moose SMP will contribute some of the most fun and enjoyable concepts from these other most famous game modes. And I will take a little bit of a look into that just because it talks about some of the most famous game modes included within the Moose SMP. The scientist asks, does it work on Bedrock? I currently have no plans to put it on Bedrock or to make it cross-platform. Whether I decide to change that in the future could be up for debate, but currently I am only targeting Java. The main reason for that is it's just so much easier to try to worry about plugins and everything else and get everything to work for Bedrock than trying to make a cross-platform thing for Bedrock as well. And so, yeah. I am not big into mobile, which would be another Bedrock type thing. So as most cross-platform servers that include Java and Bedrock will also be able to house mobile. The reason why for this is because of something I will get more in depth here in a minute. Is the player interaction part of the Moose SMP is going to be extremely difficult if you have the cross-platform between Bedrock and between Bedrock and Java. Because a big part of it is going to be a voice chat, proximity chat system. However, that is going to be encouraged, and I was at one point was going to even require it. But considering there's several people that would love to play, would even spend money on the server and everything, but just simply don't have enough money and stuff to be able to have a good computer or a good microphone to be able to do that. And so I am going to allow for chat as well, but the main point is going to be over VC. And So that's like another reason for it. Jones joined the stage channel, so Hattie Jones. It's currently a stage channel for this thing. I think it just left, but it's fine. So that's what. So I'll get into attributes here in a minute. The features. This lists some of the features. For example, like things with custom items, lore, and textures. It's just like I said. It's another like a nutshell version of what the Moose SMP will house. The video thing I'm making is going to be a lot more impactful or like insightful, so that's another reason why I'm making that. I'll quickly go over some frequently asked questions before pausing again for if anyone has any questions. So what is the Moose SMP? The Moose SMP is an idea for a server like any other. For more info, click here. Instead of trying to listen a long thing on this page, it goes back to the About page. When will the Moose SMP be launched? The targeted launch date is 2027. However, it could be less or it could be more. The target date that I'm wanting to do is 2027. There's 2 reasons for this. Both of those reasons kind of go hand in hand because of college. I am in college, and I'm currently on summer break. That's why I'm able to do this right now. During the semesters where I'm actually at college doing school, I just simply don't have the means or the time to be able to work on this. My focus during the semesters is to the college for my studies, because there's a lot of work and stuff that's required for it, and I'm also going to have to be working part-time on top of that these next semesters. I didn't have to do that the previous semesters. I just finished my 3rd semester, going to my 4th semester. And so this next semester I will have to be working while in college, so that's going to take up a lot of my time because I'm going to have to be working a lot to be able to afford the next semester and so on. And so while I'm in college during the semester, I will have no time. All right, no worries, Red. So I will have no time during the semester to do anything. And so the reason why that's a problem for me trying to start the server earlier is, one, that means I have no time to work in the development of the server apart from the summers in between, or a little bit during the breaks. But the summer is the main time I have to be able to work on the server itself. And then that's one reason why it's going to be 2027. I graduate in 25. I graduate the fall of 25. I'm a spring semester student, so that's why it's a weird time. I technically go back to do the walk, if you will, in spring of 26. And so my target date is 27 because after I finally graduate, I want to kind of like settle in before I try to launch something like this, a big project like this, because I want to be able to do it well and effectively. And as soon as I graduate, I'm going to have to look at things like a job, where I'm going to live, what I'm going to do about that, all that sort of stuff. Figure out what I'm going to be doing next. I do have a girlfriend, and if Lord willing, we're still together by that time, what's the point of a girlfriend except to one day be married? Well, if that's getting close to that, then I have to then worry about, I say worry, I'm going to have to be concerned and be thinking about that as well. So that is a lot of stuff that I'm going to have to take in consideration. So that is why the target date is 2027.
I'll leave for 1 minute, come back to you talking about marriage.
Moving on. Will the server be free? Yes, the server will be free to join, but we'll have different options for in-game purchases. The server will be free for multiple reasons, one of which, Minecraft EULA. Not for no, yeah, it won't be free for me. There's gonna be a lot that I gotta do. So yeah, unfortunately, it will not be free for me. Will the server be free? So think about this: when you guys join the server and it's free, think about all the work that was put into it. All that work has either came out of my pocket, out of my time, out of my stress, my blood, sweat, and tears, or that of the teams. I have had people from the team even offer to help with the expenses as well. I have yet to have to do that. I take it back. One of them paid a little bit for some plugins, but apart from that, I have a couple of people that are willing to help out with the expenses. I don't want to do that if I don't have to. They are also working on volunteer time and energy, and so I am blessed beyond belief with just that. And so the team is really such a great team. So however this all goes, the team is doing a great job, and we're doing the best we can. And like I said, it's volunteer work. I one day hope the server will be able to pay enough for itself, because I can't afford it out of pocket forever. So when the server first starts out, we can, it's going to be a smaller server that can only house a certain number of people. Well, if we gain more people, we have to upgrade it. Dino, welcome to the thing. You should be able to join speakers since you're a mod. I'm pretty sure. If not, let me know. Actually, wait, is this your... Yeah, you should be able to join. Yeah, there you go. Sweet. And so, where was I at? Okay, and so, I will have to upgrade the server then. Well, I can't afford to upgrade the server out of pocket, because then, like, it's expensive. It could get to the point where it's, a couple $100 plus just for the server host. That's not including updates, and that's not including upgrades. It's not including video edits specifically for the server. This is not my channel. This is a server. It's not including designs for things. It's not including merch or other sort of memberships or prescriptions, subscriptions that the server may require. All that stuff is going to be operating on the server's budget, which currently is coming out of my pocket. And so at some point, I'm not going to be able to do that anymore, and the server's going to have to afford itself. My dream, my desire, my goal is to have the server be able to one day one, afford itself, so be able to pay for itself. Hello, Kayan. Welcome to the stream. We're discussing the server right now. It's a lot of stuff going on, so it's a lot of stuff, but I'm excited. My dream and goal would be for the server to eventually be able to support itself. 1, 2, I would then be able to pay not only the staff but the cast members. So the staff, obviously, they put a lot of work into this. Right now, it's all volunteer, and so at some point, I want the team to be able to be paid for their work on the server, and then at that point, any future team members would also then be paid, because it's going to be an actual business. But first the server has to be able to afford itself. Then I can start paying people. So until then, it's all volunteer from both me and the team. But then I even want to be able to pay cast members. Now at that point, cast members are going to be a lot harder to get into, obviously, especially since money is involved. But there will even be legal stuff that I'll be looking into, because it is a business, and it would be more or less similar to like a movie as well. And casts would also even have contracts. Which sounds like really sophisticated and like pointless, but 1, it's going to be needed if there's money and legal stuff involved. 2, how cool would it be for, just like a little old me to be able to like have this server that we all put together, the team has all worked hard for, and it gets to the point where we're actually giving out contracts for actors for the thing. I'm like, bucket list, mark it down. This is what I want. So I'm really excited for all that, but that can't happen until we get everything else working and well, and it catches on and people enjoy it. I really think people will enjoy this just because it's different, it's new, and it's fun. But I'm hoping to be able to have it free, because, well, 1, Minecraft EULA, I can't sell server memberships. However, there is multiple different ways to get around that. For example, what most people do is membership IP gets granted out. So, for example, let's say I did a Patreon for my YouTube channel. Patreon members, there's a Patreon-only server. That is a way around, like, the EULA. I can't sell bans, unbans, nor would I. That's against the EULA as well. I have not done full research just yet as far as like the whole EULA goes. I will be researching that when the time comes. But the majority of the majority of the income from the server itself will be from in-game purchases and merch purchases, which I will get into that in a minute. So how do I join? Once the server is launched, the IP will be shared with the community. It will be open for everyone. There will be limits how many players can join at a time, for a limit for a short amount of time. For example, right now, when the server just releases, let's say we have it where it can run 100 players, no problem. Well, get more than 100 players, we'll have to upgrade. Well, until we can upgrade it, if there's, let's say, 200, 150 players trying to join, and it can only support 100, well, there's going to have to be a queue. and you won't be able to get in unless there's no one else on. And so it will just kind of like be working like that. So like it would be 100 whatever number of players, like a number of players, queue, upgrade, number of players, queue, upgrade. It will just kind of like work like that. Can I join the team? In the near future, I plan on having different applications for the different positions needed. And so before I go any further, does anyone have any questions about anything? I know you came in a little bit late, but hi.
Hey.
So Hayes, Red, Dino, any questions about anything yet?
That.
Red, you kind of been here for the creation of all this, so I
Yeah.
don't expect you to have too many questions. Yeah, ever so often I can imagine you'll probably have like some clarifying thing like, Moose, this doesn't make sense. But apart from that, I don't think you would have too many questions. But Hayes or Dino, you got anything for me?
Nope.
Okay.
Don't think so.
So I'm scared right now because that means either you guys are very smart, or I managed to like explain it okay, or both, or you guys are spacing out on me. One of the two. One of the three. It's fine.
Well,
Quick
I'm
question.
currently on my phone taking a "When Will I Die" quiz, so I'm a little
Okay,
zoned out.
okay.
But
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm
Quick-
mostly paying attention.
I have a
No,
quick
no, you're
question,
good.
I have a quick question, but it's not for you.
Not for me.
Is Dino? That's you sounded like Void there for a second.
That's just because I'm a little sick and have a sore throat.
Dino,
I
no.
was like, what? Okay, I was just curious to see what was wrong with it.
Mm-hmm. That's just me.
Okay.
I currently do not have the ability to see if there's anybody watching on the YouTube stream, but if you are watching from the stream itself, then feel free to ask questions whenever about anything, and I will get to them as soon as I can. So the scientists, if you're still here, or KN, or if anybody else is here, feel free to ask whenever. Okay, so I'm trying to think, where am I going next? Okay. So let me go back to the about the plan. Let me just see what I got here. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be redesigning this. I'm gonna be redesigning this, but right now you can look at it in your guys' own free time. I will be redesigning this because the plan is gonna be a little bit different, and I'm gonna restructure the format for this. I'll either include it like replace this document, or just add it or something. But yes, I do plan on having the server open by 2027 for the server release. Certain things need to happen. I'll talk about what those certain things are. Releasing documents, plans. That's what these were. I released documents and plans regarding what the things are. Another part is going to be researching the ideas, methods, and variations of how different things are going to work on the server, which is what Red and I have been doing for the past couple weeks. Requirements for self-sustainability. This is something I will be looking into, is what would we need for the server to be able to sustain itself. Reevaluation. This is when I will be going through back through everything and making sure everything's working. We're gonna act both as the main cast, the staff, the subcast, the players, all of them. We're going to be looking at from their point of view and see if we missed anything, make sure everything's working properly and everything's going to work, do test runs and everything, and before the official release. And I just kind of explained that here. I think I do have project milestones, but like I said, this is going to be a little bit redone.
I have a question, Moose.
Yep.
How many players are hoping for, or what's your ideal number of players for the server if you run with it for the first, at least
upon
the
launch,
first few weeks? Yeah.
team
upon launch.
based. I'm not too sure as far as okay, the main cast, that will depend on the story we make. I have not written or even thought about the story for season 3 just yet. I'm working on some other stuff before I get to that point. And once again, it's in 3 years, and so this story may change, but I still want at least a concept of the story and at least start it and think about it. 3 years to work on a story, but I also want to plan out the future stories as well, with the future seasons, because I want to be able to have it planned out, and so we can even start working on stuff now to contribute to those later, which I think will make it even that much better. Have merch ready to go for it, everything already done and ready to go. So I do think that would be a good idea as well. So I will be looking into that. I lost my train of thought. What was the question?
The question was like, what's your ideal number of
Oh,
players?
ideal
for-
number. That's right.
Yeah.
So for the main cast, I don't know. That would depend on the story, but I want to say at least 10, or at least 5 to 10 for the main cast. Subcast, that's to be determined. For the subcast, I think 10, 5, once again, another like 5 to 10, maybe just 5 we could probably get away with, but preferably the 5 to 10. New staff, some of those are going to be both subcast and staff. Some may be both main cast and staff. But staff, I also don't know. That would depend on what we're doing at the time. But if, let's say, my dream came true and all this worked the way I wanted it to in an unrealistic thinking, so instead of a realist, more of a visionary perspective, when the server starts with every player, including the cast members and staff, playing the server, I think it would be great for day 1 of launch to try to have 100 people. It could, like, obviously I would love to have, like, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, but I just don't think that's going to happen. But if I would be happy.
Run that within the first few weeks.
That's the whole other thing. We would not be able to house that many because I cannot afford, at least right now, when the time comes, maybe. But that's the whole, remember the number of players queue. And so we'll have a limit of probably 100 players at the start. And after that, we'll have to upgrade the server ever so often to keep it as least laggy as possible, which is other things that contribute to the lag as well. But I can get into that in a minute. But I think 100 would be a really decent number to try to start out, and especially for the start out, even though they would have been testing and everything in essentially a pre-release before the actual launch. I think it would still be good, though, to have a smaller number to start of just players and then build it from there. And so that would be the plan. And then also coming up with, like, different ideas. I already have some ideas. I haven't had them written down yet. That's part of the to-do list of things to award, like, first, early birds. So, like, the earliest of players will be able to have some different rewards and stuff for participating so early. Any questions before I move on? Okay, I think I'm good to go. Okay, attributes. I'm just gonna speed through this real fast. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I'm gonna read some of it. This is the main introduction / SMP. So these are the different attributes of the server. So SMP. This is the main attribute of the server, as everything else will revolve around this attribute. The SMP is the vast storylines of the server. They are a few different storylines within the server that contribute to the overall SMP story arc. These different storylines will include main cast story arc, kingdom, citizens, outcasts. So the main cast, that's, like I said, the main storyline that affects the entire server. But however, the kingdom citizens, so within my kingdom, there will be the citizens, so all new players start out in my kingdom and are citizens. Now, they can wind up being exiled at some point if let's say, they wanted to try to become a master thief, and they steal a bunch of stuff, but then they wind up getting caught. And let's say the punishment that's deemed appropriate by me and the council is exile. Then you get exiled from the kingdom. And then you have to live in the Badlands and become essentially an outcast. Now, outcasts have plus and minuses. Outcasts are people that are exiled. What is good about them is you have complete freedom to do literally anything, because within the kingdom walls you have to abide by the laws. The laws are appointed by the king. Yes, I'm the server owner, but I am also the current king. Now, let's say I get dethroned, or if in the future I do plan on having multiple kingdoms, where I'm not the only king, there's other people as well. If you're in a different kingdom, you will follow that king's rules, or laws rather. So you follow the law of the land. The law of my land is whatever I make it to be. If you go against this is all lore based, by the way. And so if you break a law, whatever, punishment deemed is exile, you get exiled. You are not allowed back into the kingdom. However, you get freedom to do whatever. You don't have to abide by my laws. Let's say I may have like a law where, okay, this is taxed, that's taxed. You can't build here without asking for a permit. You can't do this. You can't, like, all these stipulations that makes it somewhat boring. You're like, I don't want to live here. This is boring. I don't want to work underneath the government. I want to control everything. I want to do my own thing. Well, if that's what you want, be exiled, be in the Outlands. Now, here's the downside to the Outlands, though. So, like, you get to do whatever. You don't have to worry about mining in a certain spot, farming in a certain spot, any of this stuff. The problem with it, though, is player interaction is going to be not only encouraged but required for the server to work. You will have to be able to do something with another player at some point in order to progress, if you will. Badlands, there's not going to be too many people to do stuff with. First of all, of course, as the server grows, there will be more people that want to be in exile, more people that want to defect or rebel against the government and stuff and wind up being in the Badlands. But there's also no protection. Somebody tries to rob you in the kingdom, you have the officers, the military, and the laws to protect you. Outside of the kingdom, there's none of that. It's free reign. It's no holds barred. There's going to be gangs. There's going to be nomads or whatever you want to call them. There's going to be people like small like organizations and stuff that can be like ruling outside of the kingdom, but there's no protection from them doing stuff. Like they could earn your trust, bring you in, they can scam you, and there is no laws to protect against that because you're not in the kingdom. You have no authority protecting you. So it's like a give and take situation. It's like I get freedom to do whatever, whenever, however, but I have to be concerned about trusting other players. There's no protection. There's no authority. There's all that stuff. But then there is also going to be it goes in sync with the story or the lore of the storyline. The Badlands are going to also have different mobs, harder mobs, some sort of like different environments that are even unlivable, inhospitable environments in some of the places. So like it's a lot of like give and take, which you're gonna have to like to determine for yourself, what do I want to do, which is the whole, you can do whatever you want, but it is a community and a lore-based community. Whatever you do has a consequence, either good or bad, depending on your choice. And so every action has a consequence. You get to determine your action, which dictates the consequence. And so each one of those things, though, affects the storyline of even the main cast. Because we have, like, the main storyline. Let's say a main storyline point would be, like, a meteor's coming or something. Or, like, a volcano erupted. Or, like, there's this new agricultural threat or a virus. Or just something weird that the main cast have to try to, like, find. Or maybe it's a rival kingdom. Or just something else. Just something is the main storyline. However, the main storyline is affected because, well, let's say the main cast are on their way to go do something for their quest, and they get attacked by a bunch of outcasts. Well, that's a problem. That's then affects the story and stuff, and that's really cool. Then, because then the players are then able to play and affect the main storyline with the main cast as well. And then I may be the king, but I can be dethroned and rebelled against. There are things that I'm going to be setting in place to make that extremely difficult because, well, one, I'm the king. Two, with the whole Technoblade stuff, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to defect or whatever because of the Dream SMP. That was like the main point of it. And so, and then also I'm the server owner. I'm a YouTuber. I am in charge of everything involving the Moose SMP, so who isn't going to want to try to beat me just to say they've bested Moose? It's going to happen.
Well, they can definitely try. That's all I can say.
They're going to try, because I got two things that are going to help prevent this. One, since we are the main cast, we're going to have a little bit of a boosts, if you will, or benefits that the other players will not start out with. For one, going along with the story lore, we start out, this is Season 3. We're going to have a ton of stuff. We're going to be stacked, if you will. And so what's fun for us is interacting with the other players, ruling kingdoms, being mayors or whatever else, preparing for whatever, and just essentially running a kingdom. Like I said, it's like a real-life community built within the game, so we'll be running a kingdom. So that's going to be the fun for us, as well as the lore events and storylines that sends us on quests. That's where the main cast gets fun. the citizens are living within the kingdom. They can do whatever, just like in a real community. However, there's different consequences and everything for it. Now, like I said, we're stacked, and so it's going to be hard to defeat us in the first place. Subcast members and officers and all this stuff, there's a lot of stuff in play that will prevent there being a mutiny or rebellion, at least not very easily. It's going to be very hard to try to get that done. Not saying it's impossible, because I can be defeated, I can be dethroned, but it's going to be made to where it's near impossible, because think of like in a real world setting. Anybody could go up to a king of a land and try to take him out, but good luck, because it's you and what army type of a thing. And so it's the same kind of story going along here. So that's one thing that's going to help the main cast be able to not die in the first 3 seconds of players joining. The second thing is, I've already been thinking about this stuff and planning it for the past 2 years, and have another 4 years to go before the server's release. So we've had several years of planning out everything, not just of the server and how it works for server-based stuff, but even lore-based stuff as king and the kingdom. I've been thinking of different ideas as far as running a kingdom. So I'm currently planning not just how the server is going to work as the server owner, but I'm also going to even be writing actual laws and paperworks and contracts and decrees and everything else, because I'm king. I'm treating this, think of like an actual RPG or a D&D setting. Think of like some of those D&D cosplayers and like nerds and stuff that like becomes their character in the game. That is what I'm doing for this. I am the king of a kingdom, of a real life community that I'm trying to create within the game. Essentially, what I will be doing is, when the Moose SMP, let's say there's 100 players on the server, or let's say 101. So I'm the king. I am technically a king of 100 people. People could defect, they could dethrone, or whatever, but I have to determine the best way to try to be a king to prevent them from wanting to mutiny, same way a king would in real life. And so that's part of what I'm doing these several years. On top of getting the server up and running and working, I'm also determining the best way to run my kingdom to keep people in. So I'm trying to make people enjoy and have fun because I'm the owner, but also because I'm the king. So it's just like very nerdy, yes, but it's also insanely fun. It's gonna be great. And like dreams can be made true, because like let's say the server gets big, 10,000 players. And if I'm still king, I'm a king of 10,000 players. Players that started out when we started out, worked their way up, are now nobles. They are now mayors, officers, generals, captains. They have all these like actual medals and stuff from things that happened in the game. So like I said, it is essentially playing a real life experience within a game. It's what I'm essentially trying to create here. Anyway, there's that tangent. Anybody have any like thoughts, questions, or anything after that spill?
Have you talked about the death system yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
So anybody have anything for me?
Nope, don't think so. You've explained it all really well.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yay. I don't know whether to be happy and thankful for it, or like scared about it, because I guess, well, I've done this for a while, so I would hope I would be getting better at trying to explain and write stuff. Otherwise there's a problem, so I guess. I'm trying to go through here without reading the entire thing.
I cannot talk about everyone else, but just the explanation you're giving is at least giving me a ton of possibilities of what could happen on the server. So.
It's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so fun, and just planning it out, and just like all the ideas and possibilities going through my mind as I talk about it and sit here and think, if this was an actual thing, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, me and my team are working to create a community within a video game. So it's like, it's going to be like a real community, but within a game. There's gonna be real kings, real um, um, problems and trials and everything else going on. It's gonna be real wars. It's gonna be real trade routes, like it's established. Like, I'm a king. Somebody else works their way up. They become a king on their own. There's two kingdoms now. So my kingdom and this kingdom will have either trade or war. We don't want war. Obviously, we don't want war. So we're gonna have to try to figure that out. Or if we do have war, there's an opposing war thing. So like, that's awesome. And also, doing one thing over and over again becomes monotonous and becomes very boring for a video game. Well, for one, we have the lore, the storyline and lore of the main storyline to keep the server and everything going if there's nothing happening. However, if there gets to be enough players, there's going to be so much happening that the main storyline is going to be less of the focus as it is the server itself will be the main focus. Howdy, Bailey. Welcome to the chat. If you guys don't know, Bailey's in the chat, and that is my girlfriend. So she stopped by to say hi. Appreciate it.
What's good?
Hey, everyone say hi to Bailey.
What's up, Bailey?
Hey, Red, Dino.
Hi.
Well, Red, you don't say hi to her anyway, so. Dino, you got a sore throat. Okay. Also, guys, a little bit of a tangent, but that works. Oh, mic no work. That's fair. They have a summer freeze. It's a new Mountain Dew. I decided to try it. It's actually not too bad either. I don't mind it. There's a weird Mountain Dew flavors, but this one's not too bad. But yeah, so okay, but yeah, I'm really excited for this. It's gonna be really fun. So let me get back to where I was at right here. Okay. The gameplay of the server is more like that of a survival game style. So the setting is like a survival server like an SMP. However, as we will see further in this document, the server varies in its gameplay even though it is based on a survival premise. There are several features within the server that will cause it to be something greater than just a survival gameplay. These features include like jobs and roles, so people can have different occupations, as I have called them recently. For example, like a bounty hunter or a farmer, a builder, all these things that are needed for a working community and a working town will be needed, and so therefore jobs will be then created. And since everything is based on a skill, essentially it'll start out at about like a level 0, and you won't be able to do a lot of things, and it will actually be kind of annoying. However, what that does though is it adds creative liberty for those players to be able to pick the skills that they want to pick or be able to do. For example, let's say you wanted to be a miner, okay? And so everybody starts out only be able to use like wooden tools or only able to mine certain things. And so you have to learn the skill to be able to mine iron. So for example, you try to mine iron, it's like you can't mine iron, you have yet to learn the skill required to mine iron. Think of like a more of a real world setting. We may all know how to dig a hole, but do we actually know how to excavate and mine for minerals? There's a skill that has to be learned. In a game that everything is so simple that you don't quite have to actually learn it, everyone already knows it, that is where, server-based skills and stuff come into play. And so you could be a miner that can mine anything, and you have the skills for it. RLCraft is the same feature. Yes. RLCraft, real life craft, it's a very similar concept as far as making things more real life. I'm not going to have the need of temperature and water, though. I'm not going to have that. That's a little too much. I will have the nighttime be a scary thing, though. You won't be able to sleep through the night, and the night is going to be a time that you don't want to be out, which then also affects lore-based stuff as well, because then you're operating on time as well. And so it's going to be, temperature is very stupid. It's bad. Half the time doesn't work. It's weird. And so the jobs and roles, there's going to be a bunch of just different stuff like that. Hierarchy and role. Like I said, I'm going to be the king because, the current storyline of the Moose SMP, I am the current king. I can be dethroned, so it will still be called the Moose SMP, and I will still be the server owner, but I may not be the acting king at some point. Now, I'm going to be working so hard over these next few years to make sure I stay king, or if I somehow get out of king, being able to have contingency plans of becoming king again. But there's still the opportunity where I could be dethroned, or people could work their way up the ranks and the social statuses. Yes, there's the skill-based things, but what's going to be even more impactful than the skills is actual social statuses, which is not a plugin. That is going to be an actual social thing where you have to get to know other people. So introverts like me, we're going to have to talk to people, get to know people, make friends, gain enemies, all the stuff. And so, like, let's say my skills is more towards farming. Well, if I need iron for something or whatever, well, where am I going to get that from? Well, oh, you know Old Smith? Yeah, Old Smith, he's down the road. Or, hey, I know Green Dino. Green Dino's actually, he's just down the road. So think about this. A new player comes up, goes up to another player and says, hey, I'm new. Where can I get some food? I'm hungry. It's like, oh, the market's down there. Green Dino's the owner. He gets all of his stuff. It's fresh. It's from here local. Hayes, he's the local farmer down there. It's all great. You know, it's like like a community setting. There's a community built. Everybody knows each other, and everyone works with each other in the community. Now, get this. I'm a king of a kingdom. In my kingdom, there will be multiple towns, or provinces, if you will. So one town will operate with itself. Another town will operate with itself. They may know each other, but this is where more of like the township family, whatever. But they may know of each other, but they don't go there too often. There's no need. They could have friends that live in a different town. They could move from town to town, get a new life, all stuff like that. There will be more of like a poverty towns where everything's cheap, everything's grimy, everything's not built well. They don't get a lot of stuff. All that jazz. And then you go closer to the castle and it becomes more of nobles, and then the knights, the guards, then the king. Like, this is going to be set up like a real life setting would be. And then there's going to be relations between them. Like, maybe this town is more prominent with they're closer to the water, so maybe they have more fishing and stuff than other places. Maybe this town is a great farmland, so more for farming. I'm just got to go. Sorry, I could only serve for a short amount of time. I'm doing great. Explain. All right, take care, Dino. Take care. Talk to you later. And so, like, these different towns may have different what's it called? Supply and demands that they have to then interact with other towns. And then I will be over the entire kingdom, over all of these towns and all these provinces, trying to manage all of them. And then, if there's another kingdom, he's doing the same thing. And let's say he has a lot of this one thing that I don't have. I have a lot of this one thing. Now we have trade routes established. And now we have two different people, my kingdom and their kingdom, different people and lives and laws and everything else, and different cultures even, coming in to play. So then we're even creating cultures within the game. And I guess at some point, yes, we'll have creating racism in a way. It's like,
what?
I don't know. I guess we're creating racism now because we're creating cultures and people. So I don't know.
This was stop all your head.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think we can I think we should move on here.
But no.
What do you mean no?
No. I meant yes, we can move on. But I'm saying though, like, there'll be a different, like the outcasts, the outlanders. People are gonna like not want to be with them, and nor should they. Those are the people that were exiled. Now, some of them maybe weren't exiled, but they wanted to leave. But still, people are gonna their social status then is gonna be people aren't gonna want to do stuff with them, and that's another part of it. It's like I said, it's more like a real life thing inside of the server. And so, I mean, technically, I can't control people to an extent, and so, yeah, some people are gonna probably be like, from my kingdom, like, yeah, we don't like those people over there. Okay, let me rephrase. It's not like a racism type thing. It's more of like a team, like football teams. There you go. Is that better?
I
Nope.
guess.
Okay, I'm from Oklahoma. We support OU. All right. We are down for the Longhorns. So hook 'em horns, but upside down. So we have a rivalry. There we go, rivalry. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, I'm gonna move on.
I'm just shaking my head, Moose.
That's fair. SMH. Community-based storylines. I've already talked about that. Community that will have their own storylines, their own trade routes, like all this stuff. It's going to be interactive with each other. Community ran. The community is a big part of the server, both in development and in play. That's why I'm doing this stream and stuff right now. Non-repetitive gameplay. It will be a very rare for something to repeat itself because it's going to be so many people, so much stuff happening. It's going to be insane. Never the same. Wait, that's ironic. I didn't even notice this. I put non-repetitive gameplay, never the same. Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah.
That's ironic. Okay, maybe I put that in there as a joke. I don't remember. I made this a while back. Anyway, open world gameplay. The world is going to be open for the most part. I will have a limited size world. It's not going to be endless because I don't want people to like become an outcast and just run 3 billion blocks. I don't want that. So there will be some sort of some limit, but it will be like a very big limit. And then also there's not going to be too many. There's not going to be like any server-based protection. So like think of like WorldGuard for most plugin or most servers. Think of like a spawn in a server. You can't mine the spawn or something. There's not going to be that for this server. Somebody comes and tries to start mining away at my castle. One, they're going to be told to stop. If they don't stop and fix it, then they're going to be arrested. If they refuse to come with them peacefully, because there's no way without using a bunch of different coding and plugin stuff to like quote unquote arrest somebody and bring them to a place. Instead, you have to actually make them want to go with you. And if they don't, well, you kill them, which death is going to be very undesirable in this. I will get into that here in just a second because death is going to be a big part of this as well because you don't want to die. Dying is very bad. Think of like a hardcore faction server, you die and you're banned. Or an anarchy server, you die and you're banned. Something similar to that. I'll get to that here in a minute. But you don't want to die. And so you're going to do everything you can to, well, not die. And so if you do something that is going to get you killed, you're going to want to stop. So if somebody's trying to just be a pest and toxic players just starts mining my castle, well, kill them. If they come back after the time they were given to think about what they have done, they can come back. And if they start doing it again, kill them again. Well, they're eventually either going to get bored, or if they keep causing problems, that will go from the law of the server to the rules of the server, and I will enforce it as the server owner. And if a person keeps trying to just cause problems with the community and the lore-based stuff and just really be a problem, think of like a hacker or a toxic, just really cause problems and doesn't want to play along, then I will act as a server owner and they will be punished and more than likely banned because that is something I'm not going to deal with. I will create an entire like rule and even a terms of service thing in the future, but that is down the road. Economy driven, there's going to be an actual server economy that we're going to be based off of, a custom economy. So not diamonds, not emeralds, but a custom server economy. I will be doing it item based. The reason for that is one, I don't want to have to go through the whole long process of doing a plugin based economy for the server. But on top of that, how can you be robbed of a digital currency? Like, I want you to be able to have to put your money in your home or with the possibility of have it stolen because anyone can go anywhere and do anything. So it could be stolen. However, one, we have officers in the kingdoms that will track the person down and arrest them and get the stuff back and everything. Or you could invest in a bank. Just like in real life, you have to then make that decision. Do you get a vault? Do you hide the money somewhere? Do you go to a bank? You know, all this stuff. People then you could have people trying to rob banks then. So like all this, there's a lot of stuff that can go down, and it's gonna be very cool. Anarchy style, anarchy as in there's no plugins protecting from a lot of things. There will be some plugins to protect from like initial hackers coming in and trying to do stuff, but the majority of it is going to be controlled by laws and a very low tolerance for mischievousness. And so the laws of the server and killing someone and death being very undesirable, if that is not enough to keep a player from acting right, I have a very, very low tolerance when it comes to breaking rules, and more than likely, I would not even have a warn. The only purpose that I would have a warn for is if the person generally does not know the rules, and they are somebody that if I tell them what the rule is, they'll try to abide by it, versus someone that tries to get as close to the line as possible of breaking the rule. If somebody is one of those people, they try to get as close as possible to breaking the rule without breaking the rule, they are on thin ice, and don't try me. I have very low tolerance for this. I'm going to be so busy with everything else, and I don't want to ruin the fun for everyone else. So instead of me working harder to keep him here, get rid of him, and then all is better for everyone else, including myself. So I'm going to have a very low tolerance for troublemakers. But custom mobs, items, quests, etc., a lot of lore-based and custom stuff. I wanted it to have a vanilla feel, so everything's going to feel like vanilla. However, the only custom stuff, like custom textures, mobs, items, and everything, is going to be based upon the lore. So let's say lore creates an item. There may only be one of that item, or let's say it creates something that makes several of those items. So there will be some custom items and custom mobs, but only to go with the lore of the server. Quests the same way. D&D of Minecraft, where the community is the game master. Think of Dungeons and Dragons, where it is a RPG. You think of whatever you want your character to do. You tell the game master. Game master tells you to roll and determines how close you do. Well, in this server, whatever you want your character to do, you can either attempt it and then be punished by the law or server. So it's a very free reign on what you can do. However, there are some stuff that you just simply cannot do, like becoming server owner. No. Going around doing nothing but cause problems. No. By cause problems, like if you want to go around and be a thief, that will cause problems. However, if that is done in accordance to these server standards and lore-based stuff, then that would be okay for the most part. However, if, like for example, someone just goes around killing people, well, they have a serial killer on their hands, is killed, exiled, blah blah blah, is sent to the Badlands. If he continues to just try to cause problems, for something like that, if it's not like a hacker or someone that's just trying to be a troublemaker, except for in that aspect, all I have to do is I can create some sort of excuse using lore. Since I am the server owner and the head of the main cast and the main storyline, I can make anything happen that I want. And so I can create some sort of excuse using lore to where we can essentially put a curse on the poor guy, and he will essentially just quit the server instead of me having to ban him. But that is going to be like a rare thing, but still something that I can and will not have a problem with doing. I'm not going to read the rest of this just for y'all's sake, but the rest of this is essentially looking at some of the most famous game styles or game modes in Minecraft and explaining how the Moose SMP is going to include some of the key attributes of those games. So, for example, we have like Hardcore Faction. I'm just going to read some of this stuff. Like Hardcore Faction, tip ban on death, factions and teams, base raids, trapping players, weekly resets with the different settings, all that stuff. Skyblock, traditional OG Skyblock, or the modern RPG Skyblock. When I played Skyblock back in the day, it was not an RPG thing like Hypixels is. It was, the main purpose of it was to build your island and create mob farms, was all it really was. And then now it's more of completing quests and getting currency and doing the RPG stuff for Hypixel. And so it's a little bit similar to both, so I put both in there. Survival is an SMP, so it's a lot like Survival. Prison, in a way, is like a prison server because community service, slave labor, cannon fodder for wars, exile. There's a bunch of stuff that could act similar to like a prison server. There's a little bit of a grind that you can get into as well. MMORPG, faction, murder mystery community. Like I have a bunch of stuff in here that I wanted to include. so people could like who have like a joy in these other game modes could look at. Before I go any further, does anyone have any questions at the moment?
Don't have any questions, but what you said about the potential of like a serial killer type person.
Mhm.
My thing is, if a person could potentially even petition like, hey, he wants to be this person, but for lore purposes, and they might be able to stay that way.
I wouldn't need to
Or-
do that because even now thinking about it more, let's say somebody, okay, let's say you wanted to become a serial killer for whatever reason. You don't have fun on the server. All you want to do is just go around killing players. So you try to do that. You'll be able to go a little bit, but we'll have officers, guards, military, and even other players, all then not wanting to die because death, like I said, is going to be very undesirable. I will explain that in just a second. Like the next thing I'll talk about will probably be the death. And so making it very undesirable, so nobody wants to die. So if somebody's going around just killing everybody for the fun of it, nobody's going to like that person. And so everybody's going to be out for that person's head.
Yep.
And so me, all of my military, my guards, my officers, all of that, plus the other players, and if it's a big enough problem, I will allow the other players to get involved. Because obviously murder is going to be illegal in the town. Death is only allowed by my decision as king. However, if somebody goes around committing murders, like as a serial killer, well, then I can put out essentially a warrant, dead or alive, here's a reward. Everybody's going to be after you. Everyone's going to want to kill you. So you will die. And then if you come back, you're probably going to either die again, but at that case it would probably be murder because I would say, okay, now come with me. He'll get placed before the judge, aka me, and then more than likely exiled. Then he's exiled. Then the people out there, if he doesn't play well with the people in the Badlands, or the outcasts, or goes to another kingdom and does the same thing, he's going to be exiled from there. He'll be in the Badlands. He won't be able to do anything with them because they will all be killing him. And so he would not be able to go anywhere without either dying or just not be able to be around players. And with a server that requires player interaction to really function,
So
he's not going to really be able to do anything, and
So,
thus
like,
he will quit.
so like bad players, the players are just trying to be rude to everyone else. They'll end up being hunted down by every other player.
Yes.
Death is
However, some stuff is a little bit different. For example, somebody who's trying to like lag out the server, that is a server rule, and that would be punishable by banning, not just making them hate the game enough to quit. That is a bannable offense. Trying to do different things like that
Yep.
would be a bannable offense. But most of the other stuff will be controlled by the laws, and exile and death being undesirable will essentially make someone rage quit if they're being a problem, unless it's something that needs to be actually banned and like dealt with immediately as opposed to over a course of time.
Yeah.
And so I'll go ahead and get into this other thing now. So I need, which is this?
Give me 1 second, Moose. I'll be right back.
No, you're good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get into here. I'm going to zoom in for you guys. This is what I've been working on recently. This is the Moose SMP business plan. What this is I am essentially writing down everything that needs to be done and then doing it. And so, like, for example, I started to make an introduction. This is a short version. The final version was what I typed out and currently have on the website. A logo. We're designing a logo, and currently we believe we have that figured out. It's going to be like the capital letter M with moose antlers on it. It's simple enough to be able to be used on something like a mug or a t-shirt, but it also still gets the point across and can be used with several other things. And so that's currently what we're going for. Can change down the line, just that's what we're currently going to go for. I wrote down different ideas for slogans. The one I wound up using is Forge Your Own Destiny, one block at a time. That can wind up being changed at some point, but at the moment, that's what it is. Finished volumes 1 and 2 of the Moose Chronicles. This is where I'm writing books. What I'm currently working on is, yes, the books. I'm writing the books ever so often, but I'm also currently writing the script for the trailer/promo video. And and I'm going to be putting that on the website at some point. So that's what I'm currently working on. So what I did first was I just put points to cover. I have another document, which is the actual script, which is over here. This is the actual script of the video. So this is like a lot of stuff happening here. It's the I put on the budget plan, or not the budget, the business plan, all the points I needed to cover, and then in here is where I'm actually taking the points and expounding on them and saying what they mean. So like some of the points is, what is the Moose SMP server? How do you play? Who are we? What are we trying to accomplish? What do we expect of players and investors? The plan, the website, the future plans of the Moose SMP. So like I have different things. And so okay, so this is the main points that I'm going to cover, and then this is where I expounded just the points I need to be covered in the points to cover, if that makes sense. And then I expound on each one of these individually in the script. And I'm not going to read all this to you now. That's the whole point of the whole video. Some of it I will look at, for example, like the death I will look at, which I already have. So just very few of this stuff I'll actually look at just to kind of explain some stuff. So I'll just kind of move on to some of the other stuff I was working on. Figure out join rejoin system. We were figuring out, okay, what happens when a player rejoins or joins for the first time. So just different stuff like that is stuff that has to be figured out. It's like a small part of it, but still has to be talked about and figured out. So this is the one I'm going to actually read of next, like I said I would, is the death system. So this is what death will look like on the Moose SMP. Now, granted, all things are subject to change. The server is still not going to be out for another several years. So when a player dies due to natural causes, so not a player, but natural causes, so like falling down a cave, falling in lava, or hunger, just whatever, jumping off of something, whatever. If the player dies to natural causes, they will receive a temporary ban of 30 minutes. I'm probably going to change that to an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, of 1 hour. So if a player just dies of natural causes of any kind, it is a 1 hour ban. Reason for that is I don't want players to think death is a trivial thing like Minecraft typically has it. I want it to be consequential, and I don't want players to want to die. I want them to try to avoid death. That what this accomplishes is, one, it prevents players from being stupid and doing things just for the sake of dying because they have no risk of, or they have no fear of dying because there's no risk involved. So that's one. Two, it just kind of makes players more aware of what they're doing and just think before doing, which kind of is the same thing, but just still it helps with that. If a player dies when they are in combat mode caused by another player, so even if they don't die to a player, but let's say someone starts fighting you and places lava and you end up dying to the lava, if you're still in quote-unquote combat mode, that player will be temporarily banned for 3 IRL days. You heard me right. 3 IRL days. That player will be banned from the server and not able to play. I'll explain why here in a minute. Dead players will be able to explore, so they're not actually banned, they're just not able to play in the world. Dead players will be able to explore a custom map of the server's past, or something similar. So think of like, you die, you're like in this a zone of being dead, and you're like looking at like the past seasons, if you will, just like different things about it. I think that would just be kind of a cool thing, and that way it gives the players something to do while they're dead instead of just not doing anything, you know. Let's see. When a player respawns, they will respawn at a totem of undying statue found in their kingdom. When a player respawns, they will be temporarily taxed for being granted a second chance at life. Those with multiple deaths will gain a bad reputation and suffer from more tax and persecution from other players. So if a player has multiple deaths, people are going to be like, okay, this person is either an idiot or is just not good at the game. And they will have a bad reputation with everybody. And since they have multiple deaths, they will have tax. Players can change which totem to respawn at for a price. So, like, if there's multiple totems, there's going to be one per kingdom. But let's say there's, or the kingdom gets big enough where it does warrant a second one, or if there's multiple kingdoms, you can change which totem you spawn at for a price. If there was a murderer or a serial killer on the loose, players would then be more fearful of dying and would want extra protection from the officers. So that once again brings back a reason to stay in the kingdom instead of wanting to be exiled, because then you don't have protection from such things, and you have more chances of dying and death if it's from a player. 3 IRL days. So if you're in the Badlands, you can't trust anybody. Always a chance of dying, and then you can't play for 3 days. I am aware that this is going to put off a lot of players, and players are not going to want to be or not going to want to play. However, what this will accomplish is, one, it will limit how many just clowns, toxic players that we get, because toxic players are not going to want to deal with that. This will only attract the players that are wanting to actually play in it, which players that don't want to actually play this type of play, then they don't really have a purpose on being here, because more or less they'll just kind of cause problems. And so this, yes, I'm aware that we won't have as many players then. However, that means the players that are playing are going to be more dedicated to it.
It'll be worth it in the long run if we do it this way.
Yes. So the players are going to be probably more on the line of the older people as compared to the younger, because it's really targeting a more mature audience. Because just it's going to be a little bit complex for younger people, but younger people can still play. So that was like the reason for the temporarily ban on this. Oh wait, so the reason for the 3 IRL day thing is, one, it really makes death undesirable, so people do not want to die, especially to another player, which makes war even that much more scary. But then 2, it makes it more of like a real life feeling to it, where you don't want to die. But then on top of that, for lore purposes, let's say a murder happens. Well, it gives detectives or officers time to be able to track this person down without the person who died, the victim, being there at the same time. And so it gives the officers a chance to like try to find this person and locate him and bring him to justice. And so there's a bunch of stuff that I can go over, but the point of this stream was to not go over every single little thing. We just simply don't have the time, because there is so much involved in this. But that is going to be the point of the video. That's why this thing looks to be really long. This is me essentially summarizing all of it in a single video. The video is going to be kind of long. I will have, I forget what they call it, like pages or something, to where you can fast forward in the video to the different spots. But I think it will be worth it. So all in all, I'm really excited for it. I'm really happy to start working on it, because anyone, I don't know who's all watching, if anyone's watching at the moment, but if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them now. But if you come and you see this stream like afterwards or something, what you can do is go to the website itself. So mrfishermooser.com, you'll be on the homepage. Just simply click the About page and scroll all the way down, and you'll see feedback. Community is the most important part of this server, and therefore is going to play a huge part in the development of the server. We are open to any questions or even suggestions you may have pertaining to any part of the server. So fill out the questions suggestion form below to give your feedback. So if you click the button here, it will bring you to a Google form to where you can ask a question about anything, and be able to give suggestions as well. So does anyone have any questions for now, though? Red, were you going to say something?
No, I think everything has been said.
Okay.
There was like one thing, but I cannot remember.
Oh, oof. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know who's all here. I don't think really anybody is here at the moment, and so this is just so I'm really excited for all this stuff. It's gonna be a lot of stuff. But it's gonna be really fun. It's a lot of different stuff going on, but.
One thing you may want to tell them about is that if you have uploads schedule or if you'll be planning on uploading any videos or streams throughout the summer.
I do plan on making uploads or videos over the summer. What exactly? I'm still thinking about. There's different ideas I have. I want to do some shorts and stuff. I want to do actual videos as well. As far as what, I'm not quite sure just yet. I got some ideas, which I can discuss in just a second.
I got some ideas for
But I'm
that
also
as well.
okay. I would also like to pre-record some stuff. That way I can have uploads over the semesters when I can't record and do anything. So some of my ideas for videos or shorts is, first of all, before I forget it, once we create the season 3 story and have it finalized, I can create either shorts or videos of just like essentially like us just acting out, so it's more of like a skit, but it would be like teasers in a way to season 3 to kind of keep people like wanting it. Or it will be like scenarios, so we'll like run scenarios based on the Moose SMP server as if it was already out. So it would be like a skit. So like, let's say I'm the king, I'm up on my my throne, and somebody comes up to me and is like, Moose, hey Moose. I'm like, excuse me, it's your majesty to you. I'm like, oh, sorry. No, just like something random. It's like we have a plumbing problem. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Or like a blooper reel from season season 3 or season 2 and stuff.
Yeah. So just different stuff like that. I think it would be really fun to do the skits. I've always wanted to kind of do them anyway. And shorts are also doing really good right now. And it would also advertise the Moose SMP as well. So it'd be really, really cool. But apart from that, some Minecraft stuff here and there. As far as what all exactly, I'm not 100%. Game clips, so if I'm playing a game and I get like a good clip, I'll be uploading those. But that's once again more for like shorts. As far as videos go, I can still do some tutorials, which is something that I've done a lot of. I can do challenges as well, both real life and in game. Probably more so in game just because of time. But podcasts is something I'm probably going to be doing a lot of as well. Just because they're easy, they're enjoyable to an extent, just stuff like that. But yeah, I'll just be doing different stuff. And so, Red, did you have any ideas? Red?
Oh, sorry.
No, you good. Did you have any ideas?
For uploads, I was mainly thinking about get the game clips of random games that we play.
Mm-hmm. Those would be good for shorts. Which so far we have like a ton of ideas for shorts, which is great. People love shorts, and it's a good way to get people to the channel. But we also need some videos to put out there. So as far as videos, I don't want it to all be just Moose SMP, because my channel, yes, is gonna mainly have the Moose SMP and stuff, but I want other stuff than just the Moose SMP.
I don't have any ideas for actual videos now. Main thing was like the shorts.
Gotcha.
And you
Hey,
already covered that.
wannabe, welcome to the stream. I missed most of the stream. No, no worries. No worries. You can go back, rewatch it. A lot of information was covered. Long time no see. Yep. I've been here. College, work, server stuff. So Red, we got a ton of the stuff for the shorts. It would be videos.
I
Of,
would need a little bit of time to think
depending on how long the skit is, that could be a video. We could do more of like mini adventures, which could be videos. What I think would be good with doing that type of stuff is, one, be able to like practice acting and stuff.
Yeah.
But then also, once again, kind of advertise Moose SMP, but then also, so think about like, yeah, you'll have the skits, which is more funny, but what if we had like a mini short film type thing?
That would work.
Yes, I do know shorts where the views are at, but I don't want my entire channel to just be shorts. And so, I have a ton of the shorts ideas. So like Red was saying, game clips of whether it's like a Fortnite, Minecraft, whatever, some sort of clip, bloopers, magic, a skit, anything. So there's a lot of ideas and potential for shorts, which get a lot of views and a lot of people in. However, get them in to see what. My channel originally started out doing like tournaments and just fun streams, which I will continue on doing over the summer. But I do need videos. Hop on the bandwagon of doing 100 days or 100 jobs in Fortnite. I could, and it's not like so recent that I would just be following the crowd. Like it's been a while since people have done that.
And what?
Like 100 days or 100 drops.
Oh.
Which I think that would be really cool, and then I also get to do more of like a narration, which is something I need to practice doing, and would enjoy doing. As well, and so that is a really good idea, and I've actually thought about that in the past. I just kind of forgot about it, and that would be really fun. Think of like Luke the Notable's 100 Days stuff, where it's the recorded, all the stuff is recorded, but then it's edited with me narrating it, and so like day 1 this happened, day 2 this happened, so yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. And so it could be like 100 days for like some random things, or 100 drops or just random things. So more song covers might be advisable to your really fantastic voice. Possibly, I don't have a good mic is my problem for the stuff. I love to sing. I really do. It's just finding music for the stuff is interesting. The songs, choosing the songs is interesting, but my main problem is the mic. I do not have a mic that is made for singing. I have a decent mic, don't get me wrong, it's okay, but it's primarily made for streaming and videos. It is not made for singing. So, I would have to figure that out.
I'm actually really liking the idea of the 100 drops, and if you narrate it, you can narrate it like more of a military briefing style type thing.
Well, I could try different ways. I could do like a military briefing style for one. That would be more similar to like Luke the Notable's, how he does it. Or I could do it like a cinematic type thing. It's more of like a movie. Or I could do like there's like a different options I could do. I could just experiment with it, which I think would be fun. Editing for it is not too hard either. It's just more time consuming of like picking what goes down, and it would just be more of like rewatching the thing and just like recounting what happened. Which is sort of what I'm doing for the book, but the problem is for the book I'm trying to like expand instead of contrast. So like for the video, I'll be trying to like make long things short. For the book, I'm trying to make short things long by adding like big words and similes and filler words, colorful words, stuff like that. So yeah. But the 100 days, that is something I will definitely look into, and I think it's a good idea. And it'll also give me something to
100 day modded or 100 day
100 day modded world. Like there's a billion options for it, and it would be. I think that's a really good idea. And then I would also be able to record some of that because I am going to be pre-recording a lot of things for the next semester, so that way I can have some scheduled to be uploaded. So that way I can actually have stuff being uploaded. Shorts are really simple. Like IRL shorts can just be done over the phone. A quick record here, done. Depending on what it is, not even need to edit. So shorts I'm not too worried about for over the summer. For over the semesters. But schedule, it's that, yeah. Something that I had in college, but then summer came by, I was like, well, I don't know. I actually was pretty on time for the stream. I was proud of myself. I'm getting better. Anywho, I think let me double check stuff. Okay. So I'm trying to think. So 100 days. That's something I'll look into for videos and stuff. We already said like a billion options for shorts, and shorts are really fun, easy to do. 100 days, that's something I'll look into. I'll do 100 days, like you said, 100 jobs for Fortnite, 100 games of whatever, different things. I would have been here sooner, but had chores in my, because it was not really helpful. That is fair. don't forget your magic stuff too. Yes. Shorts would be really good for the magic stuff because a long video, that's not going to really work for the type of channel I am. One, two, the majority of the magic that I do is not for a social media audience. I have done digital or virtual shows before, but it's not digital magic, if that makes sense. But shorts is definitely something I could do for the magic. But then also for money on the side, nothing to do with the YouTuber channel or anything. I can send some emails to places, try to do shows. But that wouldn't quite be for the channel. But I can do like some small things for shorts. Arts and crafts, some fun challenges. I don't know. There's a lot of things that we can do. I do love seeing your magic tricks, by the way. They're very cool. A lot of hard work. About, I want to say 5 years now. I said earlier about your how-to vids you could work the magic into. Possibly, magic how-tos are highly discouraged amongst the magician community. I did have a channel before I had the Mr. Fisher Mooser channel. I had a YouTube channel where I would do magic tutorials. Now, the problem with that is a couple things. One, I can actually get into very big trouble if I reveal the methods and secrets behind paid magic tricks. And then two, it's just like a stereotype. Other magicians do not, professional magicians do not like people sharing the secrets no matter how trivial they may be. Especially like to social media. To like somebody in person, it's depending on what it is. But if everybody knows the secrets of it, then there's no point in doing the magic then. Alright, well, I can only have one good idea at the time. That's fair. But no, I was doing that for a time, and I was actually going to be able to do really well on that, but I kind of stopped it because when I first started to learn magic, I was just learning it to learn it. I didn't actually try to actually learn the whole concept of it and everything. Once I started to get more into like the whole concept of it and the ideologies and the philosophies behind all of it and stuff, that is when I found out I was like, oh, it's kind of like not good me sharing these secrets that aren't mine, that people's lives and jobs and careers rely on. So yeah, I kind of stopped that. Some simple things I could do. I've done it before. I don't know. It's just like some like the kid stuff maybe, but I don't know. It's just kind of, to me, I wouldn't be able to do enough to make it worth it. But it is a thought. But just like some magic stuff for the camera, for a few shorts, I don't think would be a problem. But the 100 days I'll definitely probably do. In fact, probably whenever I'm in the stream, I'll sit down with Red and be like, okay, Red, what are we doing 100 times? And he's going to be like, wait, what? I did not agree to this. Well, he didn't have a choice. So.
I ever?
No. You have forsaken... Instead of selling me the birthright, you sold me your freedom of choice.
As long as I get the birthright. Wait, but if I sold you
Bruh, 100 days with me, lol. Hang on. Veli, how many days was it for the past 2 semesters? Hold on. Let's see, we had August, June, July, August, September, October, November. So that's 4 months. Then January, February, March, April. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 months. 8 times 3 is 24. That's 240 days. Is that right? That sounds right.
That's too long.
So yes, we've done that and then some. But we'll yeah. So and we'll be doing it all over again this fall. Wouldn't trade it for anything though. One of me says, spoken like a true sibling. Yeah.
Barf.
Yeah. Barf, he says. I mean in Minecraft, but that works too. That's awkward. I thought you meant IRL.
Oh.
That's awkward.
That's funny.
So I mean like actual like Luke the Notable 100 Days with oh my goodness, what was her name? What was Luke the Noble's girl's name? I don't remember if that was his girlfriend or wife either. It's been so long. With Tors, that's right, it was Tors.
Moose, bright side though. Now Billy.
Oh, that
knows
is his
where
wife.
your
That's what I
tr-
thought. Do what, Red?
Moose, bright side. Now Billy knows where your thoughts lie. Then.
Fair enough. Moose had a brain dead moment. I always have a brain dead moment. Let's be honest.
You are a bit.
I am a brain dead moment. That's yeah. True, Red. Ah. See, exactly. Dino, I got a problem. I'm now being antagonized by my brother because my girlfriend's in the chat.
Oof.
Should I be
Moose, I always-
concerned that my girlfriend's in the chat too? Like,
Moose,
she's being
I
forced
always
to watch
antagonize you about
me.
this.
Uh-huh. Sure.
You could say the reason why she's in the chat is because she can't get enough of you.
Okay, Red. Okay, Red.
Yeah. Oh, that made me throw up in the mouth a little when I said
Let me
that.
force you to do nothing. Yes. Oh, wait, that's right. You weren't here. Want to be earlier in the stream when Bailey first showed up, I said that, hey, everyone say hi to Bailey. This is my girlfriend. And so, yeah. I don't think you were here for that.
Who are you talking to?
Wannabe. I ain't being forced to do nothing. Oh, huh. Hello, I was not here for that. Hi. Yes. Well, you're here now, so. Hola. Hola, ¿cómo está? Muy bien, ¿y tú?
You could start a Spanish branch of your channel.
No. No. That is a quick no. I'll do a gibberish version of my. That would be hilarious. Like, I wonder how many viewers I would get if I did a whole stream in gibberish. Like, I'd just be doing nothing but talking nonsense the entire time. What's really sad is people would probably watch it.
Yeah.
That would. Why is the world so weird? Because I can see that actually being something that would catch on. That's normal for you. Okay. Yeah, I meant like, okay, when I meant like talk nonsense, I mean like not even words, which I guess I also do that too. Well, if people can make ASMRs of literally they play the game without talking and all you can hear is the keyboard and the mouse. Like, bro, somebody was brilliant. Whoever started that, it's like, hey, I don't have a good mic. I can't talk too well. I'm just going to play the game and make people listen to my mouse and keyboard. And their entire channel is that. No! I strongly just suggest you do not do that. Yeah! I don't understand it. Like, then the people will buy better mics. Not to talk into, but to put by their mouse or their keyboard. Huh? It's kind of like the Finding Bigfoot show. It's like, why didn't we think of that? Just get a bunch of the guys and just walk out in the woods and scream at each other. Make billions. It'd be great. This is something different. Bailey is cool. Moose keeper. In my opinion, this is entirely irrelevant, but Bailey is cool. Moose keeper. See, my worry is not me trying to keep her. It would be... No, wait. Let me rephrase that. I'm not so worried about me trying to keep her, but her wanting to keep me. I think that I said that right.
I told everyone I met. You use magic, so you hypnotized her into liking you to begin with. So.
like I want to keep her by all means, but the thing is, she may not want me to keep her. So far, I have her fooled for now. But one of these days, she's gonna get smart and like, wait a minute, this guy's an idiot.
Just keep up the hypnotism, and it'll work out fine.
That's the hypnosis. Man, you have your days. Yeah. But she's not trapped here with you. You're trapped here with her. Bum, bum, bum. Better keep him, please. He needs cool people to look out for him. Yeah, yeah.
Is your entire chat now roasting you?
Yes.
This is the best.
Yes, everybody's roasting me. Bruh. So anyway, back to the server stuff. Yeah, okay. So...
What are friends for? And viewers for? except for this moment.
Friends, brothers, viewers. Wait, I got the whole 9 yards. I have a family here. I have future family here. I have friends and staff here,
Future
and I have
family.
viewers here. So, like, I got the whole
Future
9 yards
family,
here,
question
and
mark.
all of them are doing the same thing, roasting me, bruh. I mean, it's fair. It's fair. I asked for it. But anyway, future family. Future family. Yeah, yeah. Dan, are you gonna become blood brother? Oh. Dano, I am 20 and you're under 18, so I could adopt you.
I'm banging my head on the table now.
Congratulations. Dino, my son. Oh wait, no. We do not need to get this started. I thought we ended this whole family thing. No. I don't claim him. Okay, how did this get here? See, this is why podcasts are fun. Forceful adoption. Oh no! It's not kidnapping. This is 2023. We need to relabel everything, right? It's not kidnapping. It's called forceful adoption.
FBI, hello.
FBI, open up. Oh dear. Okay. Anyway. Back to the server stuff. Yeah. Okay. Where did I leave off? I think I pretty much ended the majority of the stuff I was gonna talk about. Like the majority. Yeah. So server things. Adoption of alternative means. Yeah. FBI. It's him again. Matthew, where you at? If you guys probably don't know, but Matthew is a friend of mine. He's currently on his way working up to be going to FBI. So, anywho, okay. So I'm gonna actually open up the business, not the business plan. Excuse me. I need the promotional video. Okay. So this is something I kind of want to look at real fast. I'm gonna read some of this. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. There's a lot, and I'm not done with it either. But so just a quick thing. So this is, like I said, the script. So my name is Mr. Fisher Mooster, or Moose for short. The Moose SMP Server was an idea that started back in early 2020. I am a 20-year-old content creator with a big vision and a passion for a server unlike any other. I've always had a dream of one day being able to create my own game and or Minecraft server. Over the years, I have studied servers and game development, and it has multiplied my passion. My passion for the dream. My dream is to be able to create a game/server unlike any other, where players from all games, all styles, and all types of play can join together in one place and play with people they would normally never even meet. This is the origin. I'm not really gonna read this. This is more just story stuff. Y'all can look at it whenever I create the video, which I'll also have a text version as well for people that don't have time for the video. This is the team, which I need to fix the format on this. Okay, that's why I did that. Okay. So the team. So the team behind the Moose SMP started out with just the staff members from my YouTube channel and my brother. Shortly after we began playing on the SMP, I went out in search of cast members to join for Season 2. I found small streamers who enjoyed survival Minecraft and asked if they would be interested in joining the SMP. I managed to find a few that made up the cast for Season 2. Currently, the team working on the Moose SMP server consists of myself as owner and lead of all projects, Tuck as the head of development, Green Dino as the main builder and creative insight specialist, and Red as the all-around helper. Primarily, I do all the work for the planning and development of the server for the time being. The others offer their insight and suggestions, and we work on the server together. And my brother's an afterthought. Heh. And me as moral support. Yes, as moral support. To be fair, though, a lot of this was worked on before... No, this was after meeting you. So then, yeah, moral support. Is it moral or emotional? I don't think... Morals are out of the question. We're talking about making video games into. We're talking about putting real life into video games. I think morals are out the window. General support. General support. Customer support. Mia support. There you go. Bailey support. Plans for the future of the team. The plan for the team is that everyone will work on a certain area and run it by me once they are through. Whether that area be a certain task, a specific job, or perhaps an area of expertise. The team will be able to pick from the list that I give them and be able to work on that list. I want the community to play a big part in the development of the server, as they will be the ones playing on and investing in the server. I have the final say over anything that happens on or to the server, but I give everyone creative liberty to come to me with their ideas or suggestions. My team will consist of mature people who share the same passion as I do. I do plan on releasing applications in the distant future for things like staff, cast members, subcast members, etc. However, I may decide to have applications for server research and development soon. I'm sanity unsupport. Oh dear. That's fair. Oh dear, insanity support. I don't think is any support for my insanity. Okay, I don't. There is no hope. I don't know why this is a big gap. There we go. So this is what I'm trying to accomplish. I'll read this. It's kind of short. One of the things that sets the Moose SMP apart from every other Minecraft server and even other games is the community that I'm going to create. The Moose SMP will essentially be a real community with real lives, but housed within a video game. There will be real friendships made and even real enemies gained. I am creating a place where players from all genres and styles can come together and live in a world of their own making alongside other players whom they may have never met otherwise. So I know your insanity is supported. I think that's why none of us have real... They try to cure it. That's fair. Hey, I'm a YouTuber. My insanity is what gets views. So... The more stupid I act, the more people watch. So, I mean, it's yeah, it's how it works. Why are these so messed up? I'll fix it later. Equal chance for the spotlight. Every player in the Moose SMP will have the opportunity to climb the ladder of the hierarchy and potentially become a noble officer or even a king. You start out at the same status as everyone else, peasant, subject. You, the player, can eventually climb the ranks and even become a member of the main cast if you play your cards right. I just started for the best. I feel like your method is much more. I feel like your method is much more successful than that. That's fair. That is fair. Low expense. Okay, this is something I'm actually going to read here. The downfall of many aspiring server developers. The downfall of many aspiring server developers is the fact that things cost money. That is true. However, or how true this may be, the Moose SMP strives to operate on a low expense budget. Currently, all the team members are voluntarily giving their free time to work on the server. Once the server is launched, there will be the ability to purchase different things on the website for both in-game and real life. Cosmetics and merch of different kinds may be purchased to support the server. Most of the proceeds will be given directly back to the server. The plan is to one day be able to afford to pay the cast members and staff team for their duties, making the Moose SMP an actual business with remote job opportunities for many aspiring gamers and creators. Until then, donations are graciously accepted and will be used for the server's development. You can donate by going to the link found on the homepage of the Mr. Fisher Mooser website. And that is something else I need to add to the homepage is a donation link. It's a lore-based SMP. So what is the SMP server? It's a lore-based SMP. It's an MMORPG. It's a faction server. It's an anarchy server. It's a family-friendly server. Another thing that sets the Moose SMP apart from other servers is its Christian standards and values. I am a Christian, and thus will bring my standards into the server. Things like language and crude humor will be both discouraged and even punishable on my server. Things like swearing. I think that's what I need to put. Language is not as well known to mean what I mean by it. So things like swearing and crude humor will be both discouraged and even punishable on my server. This will
Alright,
enable. Okay, no worries. This will enable the Moose SMP server to be fun for the whole family to either play or to watch. I plan on having the majority of players be older, but the server will also be streamed and recorded for social media. For the viewers that may be younger, all content will be rated E for everyone. D&D but Minecraft, yes, pretty much. D&D but Minecraft and appropriate. How do you play on the Moose SMP? This gets to be a little bit longer. This will be up, like I said, to read, and I will be making a video over it at some point. The main cast and main storyline, the subcast and staff, occupations. There's different pre-made occupations you can choose from, or you can create your own. I talk about the skills, death. We've already talked about that. Laws versus rules. This I will read real fast. The Moose SMP has 2 sets of authority. I'm well familiar with the concept. I'm on a few RP MC servers. I think that's a good idea. Yep, especially after the Dream SMP, that kind of like made it all like famous and stuff. The Moose SMP has 2 sets of authority: lore authority and server authority. Lore authority are the laws that the players are supposed to follow. The laws will change depending on the region and the leader of that region. Things like building of certain areas, use of certain tools, where you can make a farm, gaining permission from the ruler, etc. Those are all laws, or lore authority, or lore laws. Server authority are the rules implemented by the server staff and are punishable by mutes or bans. So welcome back. So things like hacking, cheating, duping, X-raying, swearing, NSFW content, etc. Those are things that make up the server authority or the server rules. Laws are lore-based and may change from time to time and are punishable by in-game consequences, whereas rules are appointed by the server staff and are punishable by being muted or even banned from the server. This is also something I'm going to read really fast because it's a big part. If you break a law on the Moose SMP, your punishment may be severe enough to warrant being exiled. Being exiled is not a desirable circumstance to find yourself in. Let's say you are a thief and you finally got caught. The king in the power decides to exile you from the kingdom. If you are exiled from a kingdom, you are marked as exiled and not allowed back into the kingdom. If you try to re-enter the kingdom, not only will the guards and players want to kill you, but you will also have some debuffs when entering the kingdom you are exiled from. When you are exiled, you are sent to the Badlands. The Badlands is a place in between kingdoms. This unclaimed land is desolate and lawless. The mobs there are dangerous and the atmosphere strange. There is no laws or guards in this land. There are no shops, no protection from thieves and raiders, no trusted allies, nothing. Those who are not exiled will gain debuffs when attempting to enter the Badlands. However, the Badlands has no laws. Therefore, you are allowed to build, mine, or do whatever you want without needing permission from the ruler. You can gain valuables and resources without taxes and without permits. However, good luck trying to sell those to anyone. Legally. Wink. Could I ask, are you planning to allow written lore as well? These servers I'm on, the associating Discord servers, have lore channels where what happens on the server and a few things. An off scene. I don't know what you mean by allowing written lore. Do you mean for things like for the players to have a place to like write their own lore? Because for the Moose SMP there is multiple stages of lore. There's the main cast and the main lore and the storyline. The main storyline is what affects the entire server and is a server-wide lore thing that affects everyone, but is carried out and performed by predominantly the main cast, which are the actual cast and the main characters of the story. However, with this being like a real life community, there's going to be different lore that people follow because, for example, let's say your character, if you will, is in my kingdom in a small town somewhere. Well, let's say it's a fishing town. So you're probably more than likely going to be a fisherman if you're going to be in that town, and your main surplus is fish. Now you may have a supply or something. Well, to get that supply of whatever it may be, you may not have the skills to get it. Let's say you need iron for something. Well, if you're a fisherman, you probably don't have the skills to mine iron. So then you have to go find somewhere to either buy iron or ask a friend who is a miner to get some iron for you. And so that is establishing, in a way, a lore in its sense there, because it's establishing everybody's characters and how they interact with each other in this community. And then, for example, let's say somebody decides to spark a rebellion. Well, they can do so all under the scene where no one but the people involved know about it, and then can try to take over the kingdom. Well, that is something that they can do that affects the main cast, but it's not quite the main storyline, but can also affect the main storyline, if that makes sense. For example, let's say the main cast for the main storyline have to go to a destination, and we're on the way to that destination, but we get jumped by a bunch of people in the Badlands. Well, that's going to affect the story, because then all of a sudden, oh, now we have to defend ourselves. Just all this other stuff. So, a lot of cool stuff, but still, and so if that's what you mean, yes, it will be lore like that. If you mean like suggestions, yes, but that all happens on the MC server. If someone wanted to turn that into like a creative writing document, would there be a channel for something that I could use to show it to others? Yes, there will be. However, for the Moose SMP, I will be making official Moose SMP books. Because of my college and having to write papers, I have actually developed a love for writing, and I'm going to be starting to write books. I've already started. The Moose SMP has currently already done seasons 1 and 2. When the server itself goes public, that would be the start of season 3. Season 1 and 2 have already been done. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be writing different books, book series for the Moose SMP. It's the Moose SMP Chronicles is what I'm calling it. Volume 1 is Season 1, Volume 2 is Season 2. I'm currently writing Volume 1 as we speak, and Volume 2 I will be starting after that. For Season 3, I'm going to come up with the story and at least have a start of writing it. However, Season 3, I'm not going to be able to write a whole lot as far as the official book for it, because I won't know what happens until Season 3 is over. Because Season 3 is going to also incorporate other players as well. Season 1 and 2, every player in it was part of the cast, and I controlled everything they did. Season 3 is going to also include the players. And so for the book, I'm going to include information that I would not know at the time. So I will be writing the book during the season, but I will come up with the story for the main storyline before the season. And so I will be creating official Moose SMP books that I will be selling on the website. The Chronicles are the main lore, though, correct? For minor storylines that don't affect any main lore or anything, would we be allowed to write that and show it to others? Yes, if it's y'all's storyline, y'all can do whatever you want. Fan-made things, player-made things are always welcome, always done like that. However, if you try to sell it as official stuff or try to sell it to other players, that I will not allow. At least right now. I may make exceptions in the future, but all that stuff would be done going through me, because it is my server, my story, my stuff like that. So some stuff I may even wind up in the future looking at getting trademarks and copyrights for, because it's going to be dealing with actual money and actors and stories. And so I will be looking into stuff like that. So there will be some legal stuff to be looking out for, but for the most part, if it's just a fan thing, I don't think I would care. However, I will also be doing that type of stuff too, because I would want people to submit some of the stuff like this. Maybe there was a story thing that I wasn't aware of. Well, they could, if they're wanting to, they could submit that to me, and then I could turn that into not only a part of a book, think of the Moose SMP Chronicles. I'll do Moose SMP Chronicles sub volumes, if you will, or just an in between the volumes. So volume 1, maybe season 1. So okay, let's use volume 3. Volume 3 is season 3. So volume 3 is going to be the story over the main story. There could be a volume 3.1. And the 3.1 would be what happens in between the two. Or think about how many movies or book series will have like mini books that like are based off of the main books that aren't part of the main storyline but still are part of the same world. So I am okay with fans doing that and sharing it with others. I think it's going to be down the road. Like, we still have a couple years to go before the server's out, so I'll have plenty of time to think about that. That is something I will be thinking about now, especially since you've mentioned it. But as far as, so like at the moment, I have no problem with that. But as far as selling it, that I know I will have a problem with, depending on how it is. It would be like a case-by-case basis, probably, because obviously it's your guys' story that you're playing, however it is on my server. And so if it's like taking away advertisement and stuff from me, or if I'm not given credit by certain standards, then that's essentially the same thing of like using a song for editing that's not your song. So but that is the legal stuff behind it, behind the server, which I will be looking at a much later time. Like I said, I'm going to be writing out a whole terms of service. I'm going to be writing out contracts. I'm going to be doing all that sort of stuff. I wasn't thinking selling it just like, hey, this is part of my character's story if you're interested in learning about the trophy. Yeah. That, like, that I would be perfectly fine with. And like I said, if players want to get together, do something like that, and send that to me, I can even, if I like it, and I think it's worthy of turning into like an official book, I can make it an official book, give y'all credit, and then have it as an official book that would be put and sold on the website. Which it would also then be printed. There would be a physical copy. There would be a PDF. No, just really cool stuff like that. And it would be like sub-adventures or whatever. And I think I will probably wind up doing that, like even like advertising that, because I think that would be another good way to get people to join and do stuff, is so they could like have like their own books and their own stories and everything like that. I think that would be a really cool thing as well. So that's actually an interesting idea to think about. But like I said, that's more stuff down the road. I do have that stuff on my to-do list to look at, but there's stuff we got to do first before we get there. Like, among the last things I'm going to be working on is like the terms of service and the legalities and everything. But yeah. Anywho, I am so excited. Red Dino, do you have anything you want to ask, interject, or just like say regarding all the stuff?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
At the moment, I think everything I've already, all the questions I had, I already asked.
Fair enough.
I think Dino's mic's broken.
That's understandable. Okay, so honest, I don't really think so. Other than I'm super excited. I'm really excited too. What is your guys' honest opinion on the whole idea for the server? So Red, you can go first. So it's like your honest opinion. Like, I'm not talking about like your whole philosophy and ideas behind all of it. And so,
well, I think it's a great idea, but it'll take a lot of work to do. But if you are able to succeed and get it out there enough, it will be, in my mind, it can potentially replace Hypixel. Or not replace, but exceed Hypixel and like Wingcraft.
It's a very different game style, but I know what you're saying. It's a very different game style. Like I said, I don't think there's anything like this out there, or at least to the extent that I'm going to try to do.
Exactly.
And another point that I need to bring up and remember to write in this script is another point for the main storyline is one of the best parts. I'm just seeing this work out. Keep it up. Yes, thank you, Bailey. Something I'm really happy about this whole idea is, let's say server launches, nobody joins. The only people that are there are the cast members. Well, that's what the main storyline is for. Because if we get if we have 10,000 players, there's almost no need for a main storyline, because the community itself is the main storyline, where it's a community and everything else. And so we will be creating our own stories, our own lore. And so if there's 10,000 players, there's almost no need for a main storyline because we'd be creating it with the community. However, when it first starts out, let's say nobody joins, it's just the cast. The main storyline will then be just for the main characters, just for the cast, and then content for people to watch. And then if they like it, they can actually then join the main cast. So like the main cast is going to be consistent of YouTubers. What do YouTubers have? Viewers. What do viewers want to do? Anything and everything regarding their YouTuber of choice. So they will bring in players, which will then bring other people. Other YouTubers will see this as a content thing, and they'll want to join. They could potentially become content creators and stuff. I'll pull them to the Moose SMP, kicking and screaming. Yeah, fair enough. And so that's what I really like about this whole plan. It's like, even if we go to all this work and nobody joins, it's nothing to the world because we're still having fun. And that's another reason why getting the server, it's going to start out with like a certain number of players queue, because let's say no one joins, then we're not spending an arm and a leg to get it to work. When I'm getting close to the launch, I'll actually be spending money for advertisement. I will be even looking for doing sponsorships, like I may sponsor YouTubers to advertise it, or like I may like do like different like giveaways and stuff. Like, okay, here's like a early access package and stuff. But I'll be doing a lot to try to advertise this between now and then. Think of like Hytale. What I'm gonna do differently than Hytale though, because like Hytale's been like advertised for years, and yet the problem with Hytale is nobody knows where it's at. We don't know where they are at in the creation of Hytale. All they do is just send pictures like, hey, Hytale's a lot of fun. What would you do if you played Hytale? We're like, I don't know. What is Hytale? You haven't even showed us anything. So like, I don't want to do that. So for the Moose SMP, for one, the community is going to play a big part in the actual development process. But then also, I'm going to let you guys know, like, what the whole point of this stream was to let you guys know where I am at in creating the Moose SMP. Currently, there's been nothing as far as actual physical development for the server physically. However, what has been going on is the planning phase, where everything, I don't have it on this list, but in the other one, the business plan. For example, I have in here the phases are planning. We're right now in the planning, research, and community feedback phases. So that's something I'm going to explain as like what these phases are in the video promotion, the video description. So like right now we're in the planning research phase. So I am planning everything out. I'm getting the past 2 years of my thought and brain and ideas onto paper essentially, and voicing them and asking people's opinions and stuff, getting community feedback, talking to my team, and discovering the best ways to try to go about how to accomplish. Like some of this stuff, there's been a lot of changes. A lot of the ideas I first had were completely changed on how it would work. Stuff that came up, solutions, different ideas, cooler ideas, just a bunch of stuff has actually changed. So right now, that's what we're doing. We're in the planning phase where we're coming up with how everything's going to work, how it's going to look, what's it going to be like to play it, getting it all written down, all figured out, and then we're going to research all of it. So after everything gets... So we're going to plan and research as we're planning. But then once we're done with all of it, we're going to go through everything once again, look back through all of it, and determine if that's still the best way to do it. We're going to go to the community, ask them what they think about this. We'll be doing that during the whole thing. So like those three are kind of like interchangeable because we're kind of all doing all those at the same time. But once all that is done, then we actually get to work on the development, which is coding plugins, creating maps, creating textures, all that sort of stuff. Once development is all completed, then I'll be doing applications for like the cast, the subcast, the beta testers and stuff, like all that. Testing, we'll take those people and then we'll be testing some of this stuff before the pre-release. The pre-release is when Season 3 officially starts, and we're just kind of like testing the waters of the server, playing it out with the main storyline as well. So the pre-release will allow the cast and subcast to play, and then after a little bit, then the official launch will happen, and then everybody is allowed to play. And so I'm letting you guys know right now, this is what the plan is. Now, if something changes and something has to go different than how I planned it originally, I'll let you guys know. You guys are gonna not be left in the dark of what's going on. So I am really, really excited about all this. I'm sure I'll probably talk to y'all's
Agreed.
ears completely off. I don't even know how long I've been streaming for. Probably a good while.
3 hours. 3 hours.
Yeah. And so it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. But you know what I've found out? Like, especially like with board games and even video games, the ones that take the longest to explain and learn how to play are often the ones that are the most fun. So it's going to be really fun. I promise you that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a different experience. It's going to be really cool. And it's just going to be, it's going to be a blast. And like I said, the best part is you get to really do anything, make friends, play with a bunch of people in different ways, create your own story. You can become your own hero. And then on top of that, if nobody shows up at the end of the day, it's still fun. So I'm no longer allowed to play Monopoly Cheaters Edition because the last time I played, my task was to rob the bank, and so I somehow managed to get by with stealing every 500 in the bank because I'm a magician, sleight of hand. So I'm not allowed to play that anymore, and most card games my folks don't let me play. So that's fun. Word of advice, if you want to play card games with people, don't tell them you're a magician. So, yeah. Like, my family, we don't believe in gambling or going to casinos or anything. But but if we did try to go to casinos or like did gamble and stuff, I wouldn't be allowed to either way. So, fun. Anyway, guys, like Red said, it's been like 3 hours. So, I just fake my tell when it comes to card games. That's fair. That's fair. There's a lot of different ways to go about that. A lot of philosophy, but that's a different thing. But anyway, guys, I'm going to be getting off here in just a moment. Sort of just like a recap. Anything about the server, ask. Feel free to ask. There's a lot of cool stuff. Look at the website for in my YouTube Discord for updates. I will let you guys know whenever I get the SMP Discord out. For videos, I'm going to be looking at doing a bunch of different shorts. I'm going to be looking at doing like 100 days type stuff. Once I end this stream, I'm just going to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to talk to Red, probably down a little bit. I don't know what he's doing, but I'll talk to Red a little bit about the different like YouTube stuff and game stuff, and just like this is super exciting. It's gonna be a lot of work, especially operating on volunteer time and energy. But still, it's gonna be really fun. But anyway, guys, with that said, I will go ahead and let everyone go. My Discord server is everywhere. If you're not already in the Discord, ask me for it. You can just send a comment anywhere and just ask me where's the Discord, how do I join Discord, and you can just let me know, and then I'll let you know, and then you can get in, and then I will answer your questions, whatever. Also on the website, on the about page, or like I think really everywhere, there's a contact us, and there's a contact us thing pretty much everywhere on the website where you can also use to contact me as well. So just I'm excited. I'm creating a server, which is something I've always dreamt of doing. I am writing stories and essentially making movies, something I've always dreamed of doing. I'm creating my own business, which is something I've always dreamed of doing. I'm going to be a king of a community. Like, I mean, come on. Really. But also, it's just going to be really fun. Good luck with this project. Good luck with this project, Mr. Fish, and things will work out. Yes, ma'am, that's the plan. God's got this. So, anyway, I will let you guys go ahead and head out. I'm going to head out as well. I need to rest my voice talking for 3 hours. Yeah. So I'm gonna chill for a bit, talk to Red about some stuff, work on the server some more, relax, all the stuff. I'm gonna get me some supper probably here in a minute. Anyway, guys, I will let you guys go. I will talk to you later. If I can find out how to stop this thing. Bye.